What's up everyone, welcome to the YellaWood 500 Top 5 DFS Picks video for Sunday, October 2nd at Talladega Super Speedway for our final Super Speedway race of the season. As always, I'm your host, Chris Pennell. You can find me on Twitter at ChrisPennell16, and this video is presented by PrizePicks. In today's video, we are going over general track strategy, how to approach the slate from a DFS perspective, and my top 5 favorite plays on the slate. This video is being recorded post-practice and qualifying, so we do have the most up-to-date information as of right now. And with the way this track is set up, if anybody does end up going to the rear, it won't make much of a difference either way. And as far as how we should approach this slate from a DFS perspective, these races at Talladega and Daytona are completely different beasts from all the other tracks that we visit. The dominator points don't really matter too much because fast laps are not projectable, and the amount of laps to lead really aren't that much, especially when the leaders are going to interchange the entire race for the most part. So really, what we typically do here at these types of tracks is mainly focusing on place differential for the most part and a little bit of finishing position potential as well. These drivers are going to be in big packs, and we typically see a big one. And when that happens, a lot of the cars starting up front or mid-pack are going to end up getting wrecked out. And a good example of this is when we watched the Daytona race just about a month ago, where we only had about 10 cars finish on the lead lap, and a lot of those drivers inside the top 10 were the back markers that kind of hang around the back, wait for wrecks and move up. So that's usually the best approach to attack a track like this. Now it's fine to target a few drivers starting close to the front that you think have race winning upside, but for the most part, we're really just focusing on place differential. But anyway, getting into the picks here, we'll start with number 5, and keep in mind it's fine to leave a lot of money on the table at these types of tracks with the way roster construction shakes out. So if you feel like I'm listing a lot of cheaper drivers, that is the reason why. But we have Corey LaJoie, $6,000 on DraftKings, only $3,500 over on FanDuel. He's starting all the way back in 32nd, and he's always one of my favorite plays to target at super speedways. He just knows how to just kind of hang back and grab his good finish. Although it seems like the past couple of races he has been a bit more aggressive. But over the past few seasons, since 2019, he's averaging 42 DraftKings points per race with an average finish of 16.2. 10 top 20s, 7 top 15s, and also 4 top 10 finishes. That is really good for his price range and why you probably don't need value plays this week. Projection-wise, he is going to grade out as one of the better plays. So at $6,000, I think he's one of the awesome targets on this slate, whether you just want to build around him in cash games or you can think he's viable in tournaments as well. And then moving on to number 4, we're looking at another cheaper driver here. That's Michael McDowell, $6,600 on DraftKings, only $5,800 over on FanDuel. Very similar play to Corey LaJoie here, starting all the way in the back in 29th, but he too has a great track record at the Super Speedway since 2019, averaging just over 33 DraftKings points per race with an average finish of 16.9, 4 top 5 finishes, 6 top 10s, 9 top 15s, and also 11 top 20s. Even has a race win under his belt at the Daytona 500 a couple of seasons ago. So we get some nice place differential here starting in 29th with a driver that has legit top 10 upside, and he's looked pretty good this year as well. And then moving on to number 3, we're going with Kevin Harvick, $8,100 on DraftKings, $8,300 over on FanDuel, fairly priced on both sites. He's starting mid-pack, closer to the back in 24th here, but he's been pretty consistent at the super speedways the past couple of seasons, and even this year he did finish 30th at Daytona, but 21st, 20th, 12th, and 10th. And if you're looking at the past 6 races at Talladega, this actually has been a pretty good track for him with an average finish of 11.5, nearly 40 DraftKings points per race with an average finish of 12.2, I should say, running position, which is actually one of the best of all drivers, and a very good driver rating as well. So while he's not really a flashy play, if he can just contend for a top 12, that's good enough for him at his price point and for where he's starting at a track like Talladega. And before we get into our next pick, don't forget about our sponsor PrizePicks, because they do make these videos possible. And as of right now, if you're a new user on the site, you can use promo code AWESEMO to get an instant deposit match bonus up to $100, and also a free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum to come in and take advantage of all the tools that we have over on the website across all sports, which PrizePicks has access to all sports, and you can win up to 10 times your entry fee on a 5-player pick lineup. So come and check it out, either at prizepicks.com, download the App Store, or over on Google Play, and make sure you use promo code AWESEMO. Take advantage of the awesome deal that we have going on with PrizePicks. And moving on to number 2, it's going to be Bubba Wallace for me, $8,900 on DraftKings, $10,500 over on FanDuel, and I feel like he always qualifies bad at the super speedways, but he actually is one of the best drivers at them in all of NASCAR. He's starting in 27th here, has some pretty decent odds to win this race over in Vegas. And if you're looking at the finishes he's had this year at the super speedway tracks, we have 11th, 14th, 17th, 13th, and 2nd. So nothing worse than 17th place, which starting in 27th, that's some pretty good place differential upside. He's going to be a cash game staple for me. and I would imagine he's going to be one of, if not the highest owned driver on the entire slate, but it's for good reason. Really good at these track types, an average finish of 16.3 since 2019. Also has a win, 11 top 20s, 8 top 15s, and also 4 top 5s. So 11 Bubba Wallace in all formats here despite the high ownership. And moving on to my number one play for the YellaWood 500 at Talladega Super Speedway, we are looking at Ryan Blaney, $10,400 on DraftKings, 13.5 over on FanDuel. But he's starting mid-pack here in 19th, which can be a bit risky. I would not really call him a cash game play, but in tournaments, I do think he has one of the better chances to win this race. It is tied for the best odds in Vegas to win here at plus 1,200. And if we're looking at how he's performed at these track types so far this season, 15th, 5th, 11th, 17th, and 4th, and while it doesn't scream amazing, it's pretty good overall because it's really hard to just not have any finishes outside the top 20 at the Super Speedways this year. Plus, he's amazing at Talladega, probably his best track of all the Super Speedways compared to Atlanta and Daytona. He also has 3 wins since 2019, which is tied for the most with Denny Hamlin, 11 top 15s, which is the most by all drivers by 2, 5 top 5s, and for where he's starting to get some place differential mixed in there, not far enough back to make him really a cash game staple for me, but definitely a guy I'm looking to be overweight on in tournaments. So just to recap, at number 5, we have Corey LaJoie, number 4, Michael McDowell, number 3, Kevin Harvick, number 2, Bubba Wallace, number 1, Ryan Blaney, just mainly targeting drivers that offer a lot of place differential upside or have been very good at the super speedways in general. But that's all I got for you guys this week, and if you did enjoy today's free content, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, leave a comment down below telling me your 5 favorite plays for this weekend's slate. And since there will be no live stream, if you have any questions, you can comment them down below, and I'd be more than happy to try to take a look at them and answer if you guys have any. With that being said, I wish you all the best of luck, and I'm looking forward to the Talladega Fall Race.